Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Matty here from Untitled TCG. We got something a little bit different for you guys today. It's going to be sort of a tutorial video of sorts. Trust me, don't click off the video just yet. This is probably going to be very useful for a lot of people, but at the same time, it's not going to be very useful for many other people who probably already know some of this information. Today we're going to be going over how to play, how to register in these online Pokemon TCG tournaments that are just popping up all over the place with the recent pandemic and with official Pokemon tournaments closed down. IRL tournaments, that is. This is really the best outlet that we have right now to compete online for the Pokemon trading card game, of course, through PTCGO. Now, you'll probably know, and if you play PTCGO out there, you'll know that there isn't necessarily too much within the game itself to organize tournaments to get everything kind of all sorted. So we actually have a variety of different ways that we go about doing this. And it's in my opinion, this video is long overdue. These tournaments are becoming more and more popular, and it's right now really our best and only outlet to play competitively for the Pokemon trading card game. We're going to go over a variety of different things. The first thing that I want to cover in the webpage that we're on right now is the play.limitlesstcg.com webpage. Now, a lot of you guys might know Limitless TCG. It's an absolutely fantastic website which does tons of data entry and analytics when it comes to deck lists and statistics for results for IRL tournaments and now online tournaments as well. Play.limitlesstcg is a specific and honestly a very new online platform here for people to run their own events. And it has pretty much everything that you could possibly need as a tournament organizer, as a player, as somebody just looking to get up and play, maybe win some prizes, whether that be cash, whether that be packs in the game. It's just absolutely phenomenal. So we're going to start the video by taking a look at this website. Again, you can just, honestly, guys, you just type in play.limitlesstcg.com. It's right up here. One thing you can also do is just go to limitlesstcg.com. When this is the official Limitless website. And if you prefer to do it this way, you can just go to Limitless TCG. It's not tournaments. If you go to tournaments, it's going to bring you to results from official Pokemon tournaments. However, you want to just click play. So if you click play, it'll go to play.limitlesstcg. Now, this is the front page. And we'll cover everything here. So this is the front page of play.limitlesstcg. It just sort of has the featured tournaments, the ones that are probably, I guess, the most well-established tournaments, and ones that often run weekly. So again, there are tournaments other than these four that are listed here. Of course, we have the Limitless TCG Tournament Series, officially the tournament that Limitless runs themselves, sponsored by Poten. Big shout out to Limitless. Right here, they're advertising their major, actually, that's coming up, which has cash prizing and free entry, so definitely super cool. So Limitless will be right here. This is Hexter TCG tournaments, of course, Chill Series, your very own, and then the Sunday Open. These are kind of the big four right now. There are plenty of other tournaments on any day that you could possibly play in, but these are probably the most well-known and the most well-established Pokemon TCG tournament series out there. Of course, when it comes to dates, so Limitless, I believe, they go once a week typically, and they usually run on either a Friday, sort of middle in the day, or Saturday in the middle of the day, and they kind of go up until the evening. So Friday or Saturday. Hexter TCG, they run twice a week. They run Mondays and Fridays, and they run in the evening, and that's Eastern Standard Time. And then, of course, there is the Chill Series tournaments, our tournament series. And we run tournaments on Wednesday evenings once a week. And then there's the Sunday Open, which, of course, runs on Sunday. And I believe they start, it's European time. They start a little bit earlier in the day as well, and then play until about early evening. So these are I highly suggest that you play in all these tournaments. But this is just the front page. So if you go to tournaments here, or if you just go to all upcoming tournaments, it'll bring you to this page that we were just at previously. Now, don't get overwhelmed. There is a lot you see to look at here. Now, when you look at the upcoming tournaments, there's these different tabs here. Upcoming, these are all of the tournaments that are currently scheduled on the website. There's a lot here. Try not to get overwhelmed for sure. We're just going to go to the tournaments. And this is the page that you'll probably be looking at if you just type in play.limitless TCG, click tournaments. This is sort of where it'll put you. Now, this has a lot of stuff. So, of course, there is a tournament in progress right now. It's the Epoch Tuesday, as I record this, on the 26th of January. Just a few things that I want to go over here before we get into more details. So, there's 3 categories. There's the in-progress tournaments, of course, tournaments that are currently going on. There is the next 7 days. So on the website, it'll show you all of the tournaments that are scheduled within the next week. You can go ahead and look further, further ahead for scheduled tournaments. And we saw that if you just click upcoming. But these are all of the tournaments that are scheduled in the next 7 days. So there are a lot here. You have a lot of options. And one cool thing that Limitless does is they give you a wide variety of options in terms of what format that you want to run your tournaments in, whether that is a legacy format, expanded format, or standard format, as well as custom format tournaments as well that you can, run tournaments for on Limitless. For the most part, standard tournaments seem to be the most popular, but expanded tournaments are definitely very, very awesome. So these are the next, all the tournaments that are scheduled for the next 7 days. Now, one thing you'll notice is that there are a few tournaments here that have these stars next to the name. These stars are called featured tournaments. So like I said, those 4 tournament series images that we saw on the front page, those are kind of featured tournaments. That just means that these are well-established, recommended tournaments that probably run regularly, whether that's once or twice a week. I highly suggest all of the featured tournaments. Of course, Chill Series number 18 here coming up on Wednesday, which is tomorrow actually, is a featured tournament. It doesn't make, there's no difference most of the time between these tournaments. However, they're probably going to have more players, bigger prize pool, and definitely probably going to be a little bit more, I'm not going to say more better ran, but just, you can be a little bit more confident that things are going to go smoothly in these featured tournaments. They often have a team of people working behind them. But again, individual people run their own tournaments as well. And we see just a ton of tournaments that are also just being run on the same day at different times. So you'll see today, the Epoch Tuesday is going on right now. It's got 34 players, and this E right here means that it's an expanded format tournament. The S here means it's a standard format tournament, and if it doesn't have an E or an S there, that just means it's sort of like a not like a made-up format, but like a unique format. So a format that's not necessarily legal for play right now in the Pokemon TCG, but oftentimes legacy formats, right? So for instance, we see right here, tomorrow, there's a 2014 Worlds format. This means, like, of course, like, you're gonna... it's a little bit weird. If you played in 2014, all the cards back then are legal. The rule set is how it's going to be back then. So they're running a legacy tournament, and it's kind of like going back in time. So there's tournaments of all different kinds on Limitless here. But for the most part, these standard format tournaments are mostly going to be the same. It's the standard format cards, typical bans, and all that good stuff for sure. So that is sort of the when it comes to the next 7 days of tournaments. I'm going to try not to make this video too long, but it's going to be a little bit long-winded, and I apologize. So these are all the tournaments that are coming up in the next 7 days. Big shout out to Chill Series. We're going to use it just as an example. Now, when you click on a tournament, it's going to go onto this page, and this is the details page. It's sort of the front page of the tournament. You can have this image here. It'll kind of give you all the info that you need. So for Chill Series here, we have this banner. It's just like a normal image. We have the title, and then we have a few different categories of info here. So we have, of course, the introduction, the tournament information. So this is just sort of the basic information of the tournament, when it starts, registration times, rule sets, everything like that. Rules and regulations, prizing. So of course, like, for tournaments like myself, I'll list the prizing for the tournament as it, so people sort of know what the prizing is when they go in. Some links to live streams, videos, contact information. Now at the bottom here, you'll notice it says tournament structure. Each tournament will have its own unique tournament structure, but there are some standard structures to tournaments. Now, one thing, and if you've never played in a Pokemon tournament before, you're going to notice most of the time, unless it's a single elimination, just bracket tournament, it's almost never going to be one of those unless it's an invitational. It's going to be a certain amount of Swiss rounds. Swiss rounds just means that, you randomly get paired against people. you get paired against people that have similar results or records to you. And you'll play a total of like 7, 6, 5, or more, just best of 1 games. So, this means that we'll get into a little bit how the tournament itself works when you get into a tournament a little bit later in the second half of the video. But the tournament structure is just going to detail you how the tournament's going to be run. So, for instance, for the Chill series, right now we have it set where it's going to be 8 rounds of best of 1 Swiss. This means you play 1 game, the winner gets the win for that round. It's not best 2 out of 3; it's just 1 game. Each round, it says here too, 25 minutes per round. That is a timer. So once 25 minutes is up, if nobody's won, then you get a tie, and that's just so the tournament doesn't go on forever. And then there is a 5-minute round check-in timer, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. But down here, and then you see it tells you, so players with 15 or more points advance to the next phase. And right here, wins are worth 3 match points, ties are worth 1. So for 15 points, that means that you have to get 5 wins if each win is worth 3 points. At least 5 wins. There's 8 rounds. You can lose 3 times, get 5 wins, and you'll make it to Phase 2. Phase 2 is right after Phase 1. It's just 5 more rounds of Swiss, but you kind of weed the numbers down to your top 50, 60 people, whatever it might be. And then they play 5 more rounds of Swiss. It's the same deal. It's just sort of, you just kind of get... You focus on the players that did well in that first phase, and then you kind of whittle it down. And then from that phase 2, the smaller group of players, then it goes to just our top 8 players. So our top 8 players with the best records are going to move on to Top Cut. Top Cut is almost always going to be single elimination, but it's best of 3. So it's best 2 out of 3. You get matched up with your opponent. You play until whoever has 2 wins. And then if you lose, then you're out of the tournament. Of course, we see here, since it's best 2 out of 3, the match timer is 50 minutes. And since it's Top Cut, we don't really need a check-in timer. Everyone is going to be there and ready to play, since they're, really playing with a lot on the line at that point. So we don't do any round timers or check-in timers for Top Cut, but there is a 50-minute timer to play potentially 1 or potentially 2 or 3 games. And that's just the tournament structure for our tournaments, just as an example. This is where the information is going to be. Now, there is another tab here. You can click Schedule. Actually, I'll cover this first. So at the top, it'll give you the more basic info here. So it'll say organized by Chill TCG. This is our organization that runs tournaments. Ran by myself. It gives you the date, Wednesday, January 7th, 2021 at 6 p.m. Eastern time. That is when the tournament starts. It's standard format. And now there's going to be actually a couple links here. One of these is super important, and this is the Discord server. Now, many of these tournaments are going to require you to be in the Discord server, and this is for a variety of reasons. After this, we'll go on and we'll take a look at our Discord server and just kind of give a quick little breakdown of why it's important. The Discord server is where everything kind of gets it's the best way for us to contact the players, to talk to them directly, and to notify them. So if we get all 200 or 300 players in our server and we need to tell them all something, whether it's an important statement about the tournament, whether it's to let you know that pairings are up, we want you guys to be in the Discord server so that we can kind of update you and let you know what's going on as things evolve, as the tournament goes on. So the Discord server is extremely important. But again, it's not entirely needed, but you should be in the Discord server. And a lot of tournaments are going to make that entirely necessary. Next up is a Twitch stream. So sometimes tournaments have their own official Twitch stream where they're streaming games for the tournament, whether that's in Top Cut or Swiss, whatever it might be. People who are running the tournament are also running a stream so they can highlight the matches of their tournament. It's not super important. It's just something that Limitless threw in there because they're an awesome website. Okay, so next up, we're going to take a look at the schedule page. And also, I should just note for sure, there's going to be a big button right here that says register for the tournament. Now, you can do this, like if we go to tournaments, you can just click register here. That's another way to do it. But if you want to, get the info of the tournament, there's a button and you click this and you register. We'll go over how to register and all that stuff in just a bit. And then there's 3 tabs up here for right now. There's 3 tabs. When the tournament starts, there will be more tabs. We'll take a look at that later as well. But we have details, and then we have schedule. So if you're looking to see a detailed breakdown of the schedule, they have all of the timing information that's set here. This is kind of a loose guideline. When things happen, sometimes you're ahead of schedule, behind a schedule. You never really know with a tournament, but this is sort of a loose guideline of how things are going to go. So right here, it says that check-in opens at 4:30. Now, this is important. This is very important here. Most tournaments will have a check-in before the tournament begins. This means that even though you registered, even though you submitted your deck list, even though you're ready to play, you have to go on Limitless, go onto the tournament page, and you have to check in. This lets the tournament organizers know that you're here and ready to play. This is important because we don't want to put you into the tournament, pair you against an opponent, and you don't show up, and then opponent doesn't have an opponent right at the beginning of the tournament. So we'll talk about that also a little bit later when we go into details. But yeah, you're going to have to check in to the tournament, which is very easy. You just go in, click the button that says check in, and then you're ready to play once we start. But the check-in timer for our tournament tomorrow, and this is always kind of how it goes. It starts at 4:30, so an hour and a half before the tournament begins. It's kind of a wider threshold. A lot of tournaments will just have maybe 1 hour. We do an hour and a half. Yeah, so anytime from 4:30 and after, up until the tournament begins at 6, then you have all that time to check in and let us know that you're here. Registration closes. So again, when the tournament begins, the registration closes. That's how we do it. You can close your registration earlier. But since our tournament begins at 6, then we close registration at 6. And same with deck lists. So of course, you can't submit a deck list after the tournament begins. All these tournaments are open deck lists, so you need to have your deck list submitted, and you need to give us the deck list that you'll be playing in the tournament before the tournament begins. It's all pretty self-explanatory. We'll get into it a little bit further when we actually register for a tournament, and I show you how that happens. And then registrations here. This just gives you a list of who's registered for the tournament. It also tells you whether they've submitted their list or not on the time that they've registered. One thing that's important to note, though, people's Limitless usernames are not always going to be the same as their PTCGO usernames, and we'll get into that again a little bit later, but that's just something to keep in mind. Their PTCGO username is not always going to be the same as their Limitless username, and that's also very important. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go through the process of registering for our tournament. Of course, I'm not playing in the Chill series, but just as an example, I'm going to go ahead, click register for you. Now, it'll tell you here, you get to enter your PTCGO username. This is important because, of course, when you're playing in the tournament, you need to be able to, friend request your opponent that you get paired up to on PTCGO. You send the challenge and you guys play your match. It's important to have your username here so that you can actually play against your opponent. So make sure that you put the right username there. Capitalization matters. Just make sure that that's accurate. Next up, we can choose our display name. So we can either choose to show our username on Limitless, which is like you can make your username really whatever. Your shortened name. So this is like your first name and then your just the first letter of your last name, or your full name, and you can just have your full name up there for people to see. Again, when you're playing in real life Pokemon events, they're gonna want your full name. You're not gonna want to put like 360 no stope killer, right? And they're not gonna like refer to you as that. They want your full name. But since it's an online tournament, you can choose to use your new username. Now, for Chill TCG and other tournaments might not have this, we require you to give us your full name. That is because when we make our videos and we make our infographics, we want to give you full credit, and we want people to know who you are. Again, you have to enter something here, but if you're completely, not comfortable giving us your real name, then just don't do it. It's totally fine. We don't necessarily need it, but we prefer to have it to give you credit whenever you place well or do well in a tournament, because that's just how we roll. So that is sort of how it goes here. So I'm going to go ahead and put my real full name. It's Madison Tatro. My name is Madison. I don't know if you guys knew that. I'm going to click register. Now here, registration is successful. Please do not forget to submit a deck list before the deadline. This is extremely important. Now, one thing I do want to note, you can register for a tournament, and if you submit your deck list, you don't actually have to check in. So if you don't check in time, you can actually check in and get into the tournament late. You'll just get losses for those rounds that you were late to show up to. But if you do not submit your deck list, you cannot get into the tournament that's final. So submitting your deck list is extremely important. It's always going to be required here on Limitless. However, check in, I guess technically you can check in late, but I highly suggest that you submit your deck list and you check in as soon as possible. So now that we're registered, there's a few things that we can do. If we go back to the details page, it's going to actually have a nice big yellow bar here that says submit your deck list. But if we go to our dashboard, and the dashboard is extremely useful. It's just right up here at the top of the page. You click dashboard, and it'll actually bring up all the info that you need for all the tournaments that you're registered for or currently playing in. I apologize if this is a lot of info, but I'm really just kind of going in depth But overall, this website is very easy to use. I'm just going over every single little bit of info, so please don't get discouraged or get intimidated. It's actually a lot easier than it looks. But yeah, so the dashboard is very useful. So like I said, if you're on the tournament page, like if I just click Chill Series, it'll also tell you like, hey, I'm registered. So you can click the tournament here. And now you have this big bar that says Submit Deck List. So I can go ahead and do this, but I suggest Dashboard. The dashboard gives you all the info you need. The tournament will start in 1 day, 4 hours. This is the start time. The tournament requires you to check in before, and then tells you when check-in opens. And then you have links to all the details and stuff. So right here, we can edit our registration. This brings us back to this page, or we can go ahead and submit our deck list. Submitting a deck list is super easy. On PTCGO, I'm not going to actually open up PTCGO, but on PTCGO, when you're in the deck list manager, when you're in your deck manager, if you just click into your list, there's going to be a collection of buttons at the top. The one on the far left, if you hover over it, it'll say copy to clipboard. This is going to copy your deck on PTCGO just as a body of text. And then all you have to do is just, paste it in here. So like, this will just, I don't know, it'll just be like a big list of cards. And you just copy, paste it. As long as your list on PTCGO is a standard list for the format that the tournament is, then you just click submit. It's telling you it needs to contain, it's going to check everything, right? So it'll tell you whether it's legal or not before you submit it. But you need to make sure that this list is accurate. So when you copy and paste this into the tournament, then it's, you got to make sure that it's correct. Just for an example, though, I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to copy a list here. So I'm going to go to this guy's list. I'm going to just copy it to clipboard. Don't mind that list. I'm just using it as an example. And then I'm going to go here, submit. So now I can just copy and paste. Now this is what your list should look like. It's just going to be the list of the cards that are in your deck. You click submit. It's going to check it, and then it's going to blink green and be like, hey, look, like this is the list that you're playing. Make sure that you're playing this list and you're all set. Just get ready to check in when the tournament begins. And again, that can all be done through the dashboard. So that's kind of how it goes for registering for a tournament. I'm going to go ahead and actually... I'm going to register for this one coming up here at 5:30. So Zacian V Band Standard. Vixen's Battle Arena. I'm not going to actually play in this, but I'm going to register for it just to kind of give you an example of what it's like when a tournament is actually going on. Actually, better yet, I don't actually really need to do that. I'm going to go to this tournament right here that's currently going on. So this is Epoch Tuesday. Again, they have all their tournament info here. They got prizing. This is pretty standard stuff. It's an expanded format tournament, but now you'll notice there's actually some extra pairings here. There's actually some extra tabs at the top here. When a tournament begins, there's going to be a few extra tabs. There's going to be standings, there's going to be metagame, and there's going to be streams, and there's also going to be pairings as well. So these are all things that are new, when a tournament is beginning, because of course, if the tournament hasn't started yet, you're not going to have these tabs. But Limitless is super cool. So just to start it off from going right to left, actually, we click stream. Nobody's actually streaming for this tournament, but you can link your Twitch account to your Limitless account. So if people are live streaming themselves playing in the tournament, then it'll actually show their streams here. It'll pop them up, and you can kind of click which one that you want to watch. It's actually a very good tool that Limitless has here. Next up is Metagame. So this is actually going to show us the decks that people are playing in the tournament, the amount of decks, the name of it. It's going to give you the percentage, the share, the meta share for the tournament. So 5 people playing Wall Stall, that's 14%. Of the tournament, and then it's actually going to give you the combined record for all of the people running this deck list and its win percentage. So this is very cool, actually, when it comes to data and statistics. Really cool for sure. And then we go to standings. We're going to see our standings here, and this is just the standings for the tournament as it currently is. These things get updated every round, but now you can easily look and see sort of where you're at in terms of the rest of the competition. Next up, we have pairings. Now, pairings is extremely important. Now, every round, you're going to get paired up against somebody, and it's your job as a player to view your pairing, to go and contact your opponent, set up your match with them, and play it out. And if we go to pairings here, these are all of the pairings for this round. So you'll see that each player has somebody that they're paired up against. You just find yourself on here, you click it, and then you go ahead and you check out the match that you're playing against. Now, I guess I can give a better example. So if I go to one of our past tournaments, because since I am a tournament organizer, I should be able to check this out. So if I go to pairings here, and this is a better example. Okay, so this is a round of Swiss. Now you'll notice that I can view all of these pairings. When you're playing in the tournament, there's only going to be one pairing that you can view, and that's your own pairing. So it makes it a little bit easier to find your pairing instead of searching through and trying to find your name. For me, because I'm the admin, I'm the tournament organizer for this tournament, you'll notice that I can view all of these pairings. But for instance, let's just say that you're at table 9. None of these other view buttons will be here, but yours will be here. It's going to be easy to find. So you just click view. This is what it's going to look like when you view your pairing. Viewing your pairing is extremely, extremely important. This is going to give you all the info that you need. There's even like a chat box down here where you can message your opponent, organize things. You don't even need to do it through Discord. Limitless has it all here. Now, one thing that's not here, but it will be here, is a check-in button. Now, this is also extremely important. I know there's a lot that I've covered here, but the most important things when it comes to tournaments is getting your info in on time and checking in. Not only do you have to check in before you get into the tournament to let us know that you're ready to play, you have to check in for each round to let your opponent know that you're here and ready to play. There is, of course, a check-in timer, so if the match timer is 30 minutes or 25 minutes, you might have 5 minutes to go and check in, but before you automatically get the loss for that round. This is because we don't want people just not playing their matches and potentially just sort of skewing the results of the tournament. So when you go into this page here, for example, we don't see it here, but there's going to be a big yellow button that blinks, and it's going to say check in. You just click check in, and then you message your opponent. You're like, hey, let's play. I sent a friend request on PTCGO or whatever, and they're going to be like, okay, cool. And you go and set up your match. Now you'll see here like Cool Piano here. That's his Limitless username. This name here is actually his PTCGO username. So the top name is their Limitless username. The one below is actually their PTCGO username. So you can actually just copy that, paste it, Control V into PTCGO, and then just send the friend request. They'll accept your friend request, and then you just send them a challenge. So this is really where all the magic happens. These buttons won't be here for you. Don't worry about these. These are tools that I use as the tournament organizer, kind of a behind-the-scenes thing. Don't worry about it. But these few panels here are important. So the players are required to report their game results. It's going to be impossible for the tournament organizers to enter manually the results of each round, especially if there's hundreds of people playing in the tournament. So the players are required to enter their results. Now, if you won the game, you just click right here, like I won. So if Cool Piano won this, he just clicks this button, and then the match is going to say like, okay, like the result has been, jotted down. It's going to be recorded. Now, if you accidentally click the wrong thing, or if your opponent's just being a bit scandalous and he purposely clicks the wrong button for like who won, you can challenge that. So if you just click the other one, it'll reset it and it won't work. So don't worry, there's always a way to go back. However, if you have any problems at all, whether your opponent doesn't show up, whether you click the wrong button, whether you don't know what to do, you can click this button right here or request a judge. And this is going to go, and it's going to notify me as the tournament organizer to come in and help you guys with whatever issue you might be having. So if you ever have a problem, you just click Request Judge, and then you can click one of these options, other wrongly reported game result, opponent's deck list doesn't match their deck list, or troubleshooting setting up the match. And you just click whatever one applies. It's not super important. I'll come in here. I can talk to you in this chat as well. I'll be like, hey, what's going on? What do you guys need? So requesting a judge is always extremely important, and I highly suggest that you do that. So yeah, guys, that is pretty much the rundown of the Limitless website. I'm sorry, I can't really give you a perspective of playing in a tournament firsthand, but everything I showed you should be pretty much accurate. Everything is actually pretty self-explanatory, to be completely honest. You just kind of have to go in, figure it out. But this is the website, and this is most definitely the website. So huge shout out to Limitless TCG for giving us this amazing website to where we can host and play, in tournaments. So it's very awesome. And everything you'll need is on this website. So play.limitless.com. There'll be a link to it down below. And before we go, you can actually, again, like I did, you can go and check out all of the previous tournaments and look at results to maybe figure out what you should be playing in an upcoming tournament. And it's actually really cool. Like if you go to Limitless here, like it'll tell you the standings, the metagame, And you can actually, after the tournament's done, like you can download or copy and check out everybody's deck list, which is just super awesome. Limitless is super crazy. You can even open it with this image generator. It's absolutely phenomenal. If this will load here and look, you can just, there it is. There's the deck list. It shows it to you right off the bat. So this website is extremely useful for a variety of different things. But anyway, yeah, guys, play.limitless.com. This is where everything happens, where the magic happens. It's an incredible website, so definitely go check it out. Now we're going to go ahead and move over to the Discord. I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of what a typical Discord server might look like for a Pokemon TCG tournament. We're not going to go over it too much, but it's just something that I want to show you. So, well, let's go check out the Discord server for Chill TCG. All right, we're back in it, guys. So this is the Discord server. I'm sure most of you guys have used Discord before, but if you haven't, it's pretty easy. There's it's one of those things where you just kind of have to get in and kind of try it out. But if you click the link that's on that Limitless page, it'll bring you just right to this this server right here. You're going to need an account. As long as you have an account, it'll put you right in here. Now this is we have a variety of different channels that we use to run the tournament. This is just the welcome channel, so it'll just give you a list of all the people that have joined the server. On the right here, this is going to be our list of people. So for instance, in our server right now, my name is in red because I'm the organizer. All the admins here are in orange. The people who have won the tournament have their own role. They're yellow. These are casters, people who cast our live streams. Chill Squad, these are people that have donated. And then the rest of the people in blue are people who are players in the tournament. And the people in gray are just people who are just in the server. Now, if you look on our left, these are all the different channels. I'm not going to go over everything here. A lot of these aren't super important. But for the most part, we'll go over the ones that really matter. So first up, we'll go to like announcements. This is where I'll announce everything that's important. For me, if I post a new video, I post it here, or links to the tournament when we need to register, and just to kind of notify people that are in the server. Next up, I guess we can take a look at tournament registration. I don't know. Most people probably don't have. This is just a separate one where I have the link to the tournament, the most recent tournament. I guess we'll go ahead and look at pairings. So for pairings, it's very simple. I just go ahead and I let everybody in the server know every round when the pairings get posted on Limitless. This way, if you're in the Discord server, but you don't necessarily, or if you're not paying attention to Limitless, you get pinged here on the server, and then you know to go on Limitless and check out your pairings. Everything is done on Limitless, but here we just notify you that pairings have been posted. Tournament Q&A, we have a Q&A here where you can just ask any questions that you need to about the tournament. Again, we'll help you, and Discord's very important for this fact. So Tournament Q&A is here to help with that. Prize list, we post our prizing for the tournaments in this channel. Again, this is just a place where you find all your info, and we have it trying to kind of categorized to the best of our ability. And then next up, we have streaming channels. These are channels where we allow players to hop in and share their screen, and then we can kind of broadcast their games if they would like to get broadcast or to be on the live stream. But other than that, everything is pretty much pretty simple. It's pretty self-explanatory. This is other servers might be a bit different, but for us, this is kind of how it goes. You're going to want to pay attention to announcements for important news. You're going to want to maybe check out the registration links, pairings. You definitely want to keep track of pairings because they'll let you know when the pairings go up. Q&A, there's always going to be a spot in every server for you to ask questions and get all the info that you need. And I guess another thing here too is entry check. This is actually something that I haven't covered, and I probably should have covered it earlier in the video, and I apologize. A lot of tournaments are going to have entry fees to get into tournaments. Not all of them do, but not all tournaments are free. So if you want to play in a tournament, you're going to have to contribute. You're going to have to sort of buy in a sense. Now, most of the time, this isn't money. If you're not winning money, they're never going to ask you for money to play. However, a lot of tournaments and what the standard is for every player, like to play in the tournament, you're going to have to, send in 2 packs. So like 2 tradable, packs of cards in the game of PTCGO. These are very cheap, easy to obtain. Each pack is maybe like 20, 30, 40 cents. You send a couple of them to the tournament organizer. You just send the TO a friend request, and then you just send them a trade. And in the game, of course, oftentimes they'll just ask you to request just a basic energy card because they'll have hundreds of them. and then you just send them 2 packs, and that way it finalizes your registration into the tournament. We have this one here. It's called Entry Check. This just is where people post to let us know that they've sent in their packs for registration. Now, spoiler, moving on, our tournaments, the Chill Series tournaments, are going to be completely free entry, so this is not something that we're necessarily going to need, and this is not something that you'll need to worry about for Chill Series tournaments. Limitless doesn't have, pay to enter or entry fee for their tournaments as well, but for other tournaments, you might have something like this, so just keep that in mind. But Chill Series tournaments from now on are going to be free entry because we are sponsored. Which is definitely super cool. But yeah, just keep that in mind as well. You might have to send in a couple packs if you want to, get your registration to the tournament finalized. Oftentimes they'll drop you if you don't submit your packs. But yeah, guys, I mean, that's it. So hold on, let me exit out of here. How? Okay, here we go. All right, sorry about that. Yeah, okay, so we're back on Limitless. So again, like this website is really where it's at. This video went 36 minutes long. I apologize for the very long explanation. I went very much in depth, but this is everything that you need to know if you're wanting to play in a tournament. This is literally all of the info that you'll need crammed into one video, but for the most part, it's pretty self-explanatory. You can figure it out. But the important thing is Limitless here, and I really wanted to broadcast that this is sort of where it all happens, and giving people sort of an idea of how this works. Hopefully, they feel a bit more inclined to play in the tournaments. So definitely go to play.limitless.com. There's tournaments every day for whenever you want to play and compete in PTCGO. There's always stuff for you, and I highly recommend that you come on and play. Big shout out to Chill TCG and Chill Series number 18. Again, this is our tournament series here at Chill TCG. We run every Wednesday, so tomorrow as I post this is Chill Series 18. It's 100% free entry. I highly recommend that you go play. All you got to do is hop on here, click register, submit your deck list, and you're ready to rock. It's going to be awesome. So it's 100% free entry. This is a community-sponsored tournament, so we have 200 Vivid Voltage packs in the prize pool, so you don't even have to pay to enter, and you can potentially win 45 Vivid packs. Could be super cool. So definitely come and play. It's going to be awesome, guys. I'll post videos and stuff for coverage for the tournament. It's going to be super hype. Definitely go and register. I highly recommend it. Link to register will actually be down below as well. With that being said, guys, 38 minutes into the video. I apologize for making it so long, but hopefully this is all the info that you guys need. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Maddie from Chill TCG, and I will see you guys soon.